Remember Bob Hurley? Do you remember Bob Hurley? He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame for that whole team. Bob Hurley, Christian Leitner. Anyway, we're not talking basketball. Even though it's on, I'm going to actually pause it. So, I haven't posted much new stuff. I posted a video today, but it's been on my camera for ever. But I bought this Nissan Altima 2.5, 2007. It's a nice little car. Had some major like suspension issues, chatter and kinds of stuff like that. And the guy came up, looked at it last weekend, said, "I'll buy it, but I want you to change out some stuff, and I'll buy the parts." And that's my contribution, saying I'm going to buy it. So I spent this week, I'd already put a power steering pump in it and got the glove box lined up. I didn't videotape the power steering pump, and I should have, because that was a fiasco. But I had to put, I thought it was control arms, because the ball joint is built in the control arms in these. So I put in a control arm. It took me 3 hours. I don't know how the hell I got it in there. I said, well, hell, it's not that, because it still had the chatter. So I told the guy, I go, look it, we should probably replace the control arm on the driver's side. And he also wanted to do struts, shocks. There was an O2 sensor. And then he said, check the brakes. And I checked the brakes and decided we'd do the brakes too. So earlier this week, this is it's Thursday, this was like Monday or Tuesday, I went out and I started in on the driver's side control arm. And my God, ended up pulling the CV joint out of the axle, and there goes tranny fluid all over the parking lot, and I was about ready to blow a stack. So I knew I had to do the strut, and so today I went out and I pulled the strut out of that one, pulled the control arm that I couldn't get mounted, pulled that back out, and then pretty much the hub, and took the brakes off, and also the rotor, and the hub was just kind of sitting there on its own. And then I was able to get the control arm in, and then I was able to put the hub on the control arm, put the strut on, and so everything's back together. And ended up, I did 2 struts, brake jobs, and the control arm, and the O2 sensor in 6 hours today, 6 or 7 hours. But this is what my point. This is where I'm getting to my point here, roundabout way. Bobby Bonilla. So I have a real issue with the way these auto mechanics, not all of them, some of these assholes do their videos. Because damn, you go to the CV joint or the control arm. I'm watching the guy from 1A Auto. He's got the thing nice up on a lift, and hey, make sure you check for the bolts falling off and safety first. And I'm like, wear eye protection and ear protection, and shove a stick up your ass. And I'm like, okay, thank you for showing me how to do it. But it doesn't apply when you're laying out in a parking lot, with the car jacked up, and then you have to. So, for instance, he says you just take the old CV joint or the old control arm out, which no problem, took it out, and then you slide the new one in, which not that easy because all the shit's there, the hub's there, the tie rod, so you got to get that thing in there. But then there's a grommet on the top of the thing that's about that big. And on the bottom one, that's about that big. And then the other end, same deal. They're little shorter rubber grommets. So I greased the thing. I could not get the bolts to line up. I ended up stripping out one bolt on the left side trying to get the bolts to line up. You don't have enough room down there. You can't see what's up underneath. He jacks his up real nice. He goes, oh, sometimes you just got to jack it up and straighten it out, and then the bolts pop right through. Well, I jack it up and the damn hub pulls away from the car. So obviously it's not going to help me line up the damn control arm. What was the other thing today? Oh, I was taking the tie rod off the upper the upper mounting plate on the strut, and this guy's like, look at it. But the thing he doesn't cover is, look, I go in, my car's a piece of shit, right? I can't get the damn bolt off. It won't come off the tie rod. But they don't have that issue, and it just pisses me off because every time I go in, oh, that looks super simple. And then you go in and it's not. It's not anything like what they tell you. It's a bunch of bullshit. And you got to learn how to deal with this situation and that situation. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe it gets easier. But I ended up having to take the whole freaking assembly out of the right car hub area in order to get the control arm in because I couldn't get it in there because the stupid grommets, these rubber grommets get stuck in there and they don't line up and you can't get your bolts through. And it's a big pain in the fucking ass. Anyway, so screw you, 1A Auto. And, you asshole mechanics have nice, clean shit to work on. My shit's a dirty fucking mess. Show it how it really is. Sorry, I'm a little bit hard.